Welcome to Civil Engineering Blooms. In this video of StatPro, we are going to see how to design 3D frame and how to analyze and design in StatPro. So these are the parameters I have taken. This is the elevation view of our plan which we are going to design. Okay, so I have taken the ground floor height as 4 meters and the remaining floors are of 3 meters. And this is important to calculate the brick wall loads also. And the next plan view is so I have taken total length of 20 and each divided into 5 equal parts or 5 equal number of days. Okay. And similarly coming to width, it has been 20. 5 into 4, that is 20. And the next part, here we can see the parameters considered for the design and analysis and design. So I have taken external beams of 300 mm by 300 mm and similarly internal beams are of 230 and 300 and columns are of 450 cross 300 and internal columns are of 450 by 450. Since on the internal columns we are going to get the biaxial loads. Okay, so and unit weight of brick is 20 kilonewton per meter. And for units I have taken mm, all the units are in mm. And similarly our next parameters are load calculations. Okay, as per IS 875 part 1 I have taken the dead loads as self weight and the brick wall on the outer beams which is of 0.23 meters. Okay, so if you are calculating the wall loads of 0.23 meters, we can take here as 1 meter. Just we have calculated the load for 1 meter length and 0.23 is the thickness of the brick and height of the total brick wall is 3 meters and the unit weight is 20. Okay, so if you are multiplying these all the values, we are going to get 13.8 kilonewton per meter. Okay, so just we are going to give this in UDL format. Okay, so we can give this in UDL format. And the next one is brick wall load on the internal beams. So here we can go for calculation as 1 into 0.11, 0.11 into 3 into 20. That is for 1 meter, 0.11 thickness, partition walls and 3 meter height and 20 unit weight. So we are going to get 6.6 kilonewton per meter for the internal beams, internal brick walls or partition brick walls. Okay, and I have taken floor finishing load under dead loads, that is 1.6 kilonewton per meter square. So here we are going to assign the floor loads. And the next part is live loads. Here I have taken the live loads as floor load and the roof load. So for floor load I am taking 3.5 kilonewton per meter square which is distributed among the floors, and for the topmost floor or the roof I am going to consider it as 1.5 kilonewton per meter square. And load combinations are considered as per IS code. Directly we can give the combinations. And the next are design parameters. So after analysis we are going for design. So I have considered concrete grade as M30 and for steel it is 415. For main and secondary reinforcement I have considered 415 Fe 415. And coming to beams I have taken maximum main as 25 mm and minimum main as 12 mm. And similarly maximum secondary is 16 and minimum secondary is 8 mm bars. And for columns I have taken maximum main as 32 mm and minimum main as 12 mm. Similarly maximum second, that is stirrups, 16 mm and second minimum is 8 mm. Okay, so just we are going to define these ranges and depending upon the loads and the loads combination or the highest load or worst case of the load, the reinforcement will be assigned. And if you are keeping track as 0, just we are going to get this summary. Okay, we are going to get the summary of the design. And if you want to get intermediate details or like a detailed report of the design, then we can keep either 1 or 2. For intermediate we can keep 1 and for detail we can keep 2. Okay, so we'll see that in stat. So after giving these all the parameters, we need to give the command as design beam and design column so that stat will design the given structure. Okay, so after that we can interpret the results. So we'll go for the stat. So yes, let's start with the StatPro. Here I am going to take the new project and make sure that under license configuration you have been selected this Indian design codes. Okay, so click on new project and define the name for your file. Okay, so let it be G+3 building. Okay, I am going to give G+3 here and click on next, and the default units are in meters and kilonewtons. If you want you can change for millimeter and newtons also. Let it be meter and kilonewton. Click on next and just click on finish. Okay, so in this video I'm going to use the run structure wizard. So since it is a 3D frame, I'm going to directly give the length, width and height of the structure as we discussed before, as I've shown before. So click on geometry menu here, and you can directly go for run structure wizard at bottom. And from this run structure wizard, we are going to get another window. So under model type, just select frame models and double click on the bay frame. Just you can define the length, width and height. So as we seen before, I'm going to define the length as 25 and height as 13, since ground floor was 4 meters and all the other floors were 3 meters. So 3 into 3, 9 plus 4, that is 13 meters. And coming to width, I'm going to define it as 20. Okay. So for length, it was taken as 5 bays, and coming to height, it was 4, but it was irregular, it was not equally distributed. So just click on this one, this three dotted box, and for the first floor, that is ground floor, I'm going to define it as 4, and the next one are 3 meters. So just you can use down arrow to navigate from one bar to another bar, from one cell to another cell. So this is 3 meters, and click on OK. Similarly for width, it was 4 meters. So 4 into 5, that is 20 meters. Okay. So apply, and overall we are going to get the 3D structure like this. Okay. So to transfer this prototype into our model file, you can directly click on this one, that is transfer model, or you can go for directly close this one. Okay. So anything is fine, and after closing that window, it will be asking, would you like to transfer or merge this prototype into StatPro? So just click on yes. Okay. And it is asking where to place that model. Okay. So you can use the reference notes, or you can give the coordinates also. Right now there is no other structure, just I want to place my structure at origin. So directly you can click on OK again. So our structure has been placed here, and I'm going to close this graphical area, that is grid area. So you can click on this icon to close the grid. Okay, snap node beam, and then this is the 3D structure. Now just navigate to general page at left side, just click on general page and go for the properties. Okay. Now as we discussed before, I am going to define the properties for external beams, internal beams and internal columns and external columns. So I am going to define the properties first. So just go for rectangular property, and under YD, since previously I have shown the values in mm, right now units are in meters. So just I'm going to convert millimeters to meters here. So for external beams, it was taken as 300 by 300, that is 0.3 by 0.3. Okay. So click on add, and coming to internal beams, the depth was 0.3 and the width I have changed to 0.23. Okay. And just add. Similarly for columns, the internal columns was 450 by 450. Okay. And for internal columns, it is 0.45 by 0.3, and click on add. And similarly for external columns, it is 0.45 by 0.45. So click on add. So I am going to close this one, just click on close. So 0.3 by 0.3 is for external, 0.3 by 0.23 is for internal beams, and 0.4 by 0.3 is for external columns, and 0.4 by 0.45 is internal columns. Okay. I think, yeah, sorry, for this second one, depth is 0.3, width is 0.23, right? So now I have to apply this one. Just go for rectangle 0.3 by 0.3 property. So if you want to apply for all beams, we can select parallel to beams parallel to x and z axis. But right now, I'm going to go for the top view. Just you can click on this icon to go for top view, and just hold Control button, and you can select the beams from this list. Okay. So just I'm going to select only external beams here, and all the internal beams I'm going to assign the other property. So yeah, this one. So I have selected all the external beams, and you can select this option, assign to selected beams. Okay. So click on assign and just go for yes, and all the beams has been assigned with the 0.3 by 0.3. Okay. And next we need to assign 0.3 by 0.23 for the internal beams. So just hold Control again, and you can highlight the internal beams like this. Okay. Make sure that you are selecting only beams, otherwise sometimes you might highlight the columns also. So just carefully highlight the internal beams like this. Okay. And similarly I have to select this one. So just select it like we are getting the majority of the portion. Yeah. And next, assign to selected beams, click on assign and yes. And next step, we need to assign 0.4 by 0.3 for external columns. So just I'm going to select the columns like this. Okay. So otherwise you can go for front view also. It's better to select from the top view. So I have selected all the external columns and assign to selected beams, assign and yes. So similar way, 0.4 by 0.45 is for internal columns. Similar way you can select the internal columns also. So I have selected the internal columns also, and just you can go for assign to selected beams and click on assign and type yes. So just click on yes. Okay. So properties has been assigned, and if you want to check the 3D view of this one, you can simply click on this pyramid symbol, or you can go for right click, and at last we are going to have the 3D rendering. Okay. When we are clicking on the 3D rendering, we can see the 3D structure. Okay. Solid view of this object. Okay. And I'm going to close this one. Next step is to assign the supports. You can go for supports page, and just going for front view. I'm just activating the front view here and click on create at property window, and I'm going to assign the fixed support. Okay, just click on add, select the support first. Okay, and then you can highlight the bottom nodes like this. At a time we can highlight that one and click on assign and yes. So we have assigned the properties and supports, and next step is to assign the loads. You can I have discussed we are going to give the dead loads and live loads for this structure. Going for load case details, click on add, and I'm going to add the dead load. And if you want to rename this, you can rename this also. I'm going to give DL here, add. And similarly next one is live load, so just that is LL, live load, and click on add. So under dead load, just we are going to add the wall load, self weight, etc. I'm going to consider self weight. Actually we don't require the self weight to calculate, but to know the total weight of the structure, you can apply the self weight also, and take the factor as -1. Since the total loads are taken towards gravity, that is -5, we have to indicate the minus or negative symbol for the value over there. Click on add, and you can check it at this side. So self weight has been assigned here, and just go for the member load. So as we discussed, external walls or 0.23 thickness wall loads are 13.8 kilonewton per meter. So click on add, and similarly we got -6.6, that is 6.6 kilonewton per meter for internal walls or the partition walls. Okay, so I'm going to click on S for auto save, and yeah, so we have assigned the self weight and the wall load. Similarly, I have given the floor finishing also. So for floor loads, you can go for floor load option, and you can define the floor finish load here. So we have taken the dead load for floor loads, I mean that is floor finishes, -1.6 as per code. So we need to define the Y range and the, I mean like minimum and maximum Y range here. So from from this level to this top roof level, we need to give the floor finish. So the basic height or the minimum height is 4 meters, and the maximum height is 13 meters. Okay, so just you can define the minimum as 4 and the maximum as 13 meters. Okay, and just click on OK, and automatically the floor load will be added. Okay, so this is all about the dead load, and next case is live load, and before that I'm going to assign these all the loads. So self weight, assign to view, assign, and yes, after assigning it will be highlighted in red color. So and another one, 13.8 is assigned for the external beams. So I have to select the external beams. So instead of selecting each and everything, we can go for select, and you can go for by specification option. Okay, by specification and property name. For external beams, I have taken 0.3 by 0.3, right? So automatically the external beams has been highlighted. So just you can click on close, and you can go for assign to selected beams and assign. So you have to select the load, assign to selected beams, assign, and yes. And similar way I want to assign this for internal beams. Okay, so again go for select and go for by specification, and you can go for property name again. So select 0.3 by 0.23 and close, assign to selected beams and assign, and yes. Okay, so and floor load will be automatically assigned since we have given the Y ranges also. So from the first floor to, I mean from the ground floor to the top floor, floor finishing load has been assigned. Okay, similar way I want to assign the live load. Just click on live load and click on add, and we are going to assign the floor loads. That is on the floor I have taken the load as 3.5, and for the roof it was 1.5, so 3.5. So since I said only floors, we need to give only for floor range. So just I'm going to clear all the dimensions on the screen. You can click on this icon, remove all node to node distance display. So again taking this icon, node to node distance. So obviously the minimum range is 4, and for floors the maximum range is from here to here, that is 10 meters. Okay, for roof directly we can give the 13 and 13. Okay, so if you want to apply for single floor, we have to give the minimum and maximum values will be same, or else if you want to define from particular range of floors, we can define the minimum or the starting floor height, that is 4 meters, and ending floor height is 10 meters. And just you can click on add here. And similarly I want to assign the roof load also, that is minus 1.5. so this will be of 13 and 13. Okay, and you can click on add and close. So previously for 3.5 I have given the positive value, so it has been applied towards upside. So if you want to edit, you can simply double click on that and you can change this value to minus 3.5 kilonewton per meter square. So change and close, so we can see the change here. Okay, and next step is to create the load combinations as per code. So click on load case details and click on add. So either we can define manual code, manual combinations also. Right now we are going to discuss about the auto load combination. So click on this load combination code and select the Indian code, and default it is a general structure, and you can click on generate loads. Okay, so we can see 1.5 to 1.5, that is 1.5 into dead load plus live load. Similarly 1.2 into dead load plus live load, 1.5 times of dead load, and 0.9 times of dead load. Instead of dead load live load, it's simply showing the load case number. Okay, so click on add, and automatically we can see that load combinations has been assigned here. Okay, and next step is to analysis. So before that I'm going to remove the node to node distance. Yeah, so next step you can click on analysis and print. So if you want to see all the details, you can click on all, or you can keep no print also. So right now I'm going to give all, click on add, and you can see perform analysis print command has been added at the right side. Okay, so close. So you can go for Control F5 shortcut key, or you can click on the analyze menu here. Okay, on the menu bar, and click on run analysis and just go for save, and automatically the STAAD will run the analysis for the given conditions for the 3D structure. Yeah, so we got 0 errors and 0 warnings. Okay, so if you want to see the total dead load and live load, just click on view output file and done, and you can click on results here, and under total applied load it is showing minus 15,519 kilonewton meter, and similarly for applied live load it is 6,000. Okay, and similar way if you want to see the reactions and bending moments etc., simply you can double click on the beam to see the SFD and BMDs. So shear bending, we can see the shear force diagram, sorry, this is bending diagram. If you are clicking on shear Y here, you can see the shear force diagram like this. Okay, and in case if you want to see the stresses or the reactions, just go for post processing and click on apply. Okay, so these green colors are indicating the displacements actually. Okay, and just go for node and click on reactions. We are going to get the reactions for different supports. If you want to observe one support, just select that one and go for right click and click on new view. Okay, so just you can go for okay, and for so and so particular node, that is node number 1, for different load cases, if you want to see for second, I mean we can see this tabulated reactions in the side table, support reactions, and you can separate the view and you can observe this here. Okay, right now we are seeing the reactions for live load. If you want to change for dead load, at top side on the toolbar select the dead load. Okay, so it is showing the different reactions like in XYZ directions, and similarly moments in different directions. So if you want to get back for normal structure, you have to click on this icon. Okay, display whole structure, so again it will be normal. Okay, and next step is to design. Okay, so to design I'm going to click on the design page here. Okay, and I'm going to select the concrete page, and the default code will be something like a ACI, but I have set for, in my system I have set for IS 456, so I will show how to set that one in the next videos. Right now, yeah, just from the list you have to select the IS456, and before giving the parameters, whatever the previous considerations for the design we have considered, those are all in Newton and mm. Okay, we need to change the current input, so you can click on this icon, input units, or you can directly go for tools and you can go for set current input unit. Okay, I'm going to change the input unit for mm and Newton here and click on OK. So just go for define parameters, and for beams I have taken maximum and minimum value. Similarly for columns also I have taken. So what I can do is just go for select beams parallel to X, and similarly just go for beams parallel to Z. Okay, and click on define parameters, and I'm going for FC, that is grade of concrete. I'm going to consider the grade of concrete as 30. So just let it be 30 Newton per mm square. Assign. Okay. And Fy main, that is 415. Actually grade of concrete and steel are same for columns and beams. Okay, we'll assign to whole view after closing this window. So yeah, assign. And next step is Fy secondary is also 415, Fe 415 grade. So if you want to go for Fe 500, you can assign Fe 500 also. For beams I have taken maximum main as 25 mm. Assign. And maximum secondary is 16. Okay, so assign. Similarly minimum main, just go for minimum main. So minimum I require 12 mm for beams, and similarly minimum secondary is 8 mm. So click on assign. Okay, so we have assigned the grade of concrete, grade of steel, and like maximum and minimum sizes for the beams. Right now I want to assign Fy for whole structure. So simply select the parameter and you can click on assign to view and assign. Okay, and yes. So similarly Fy secondary also assign to view, assign, and yes. And similarly FC30, that is grade of concrete, so assign to view, assign, and yes. So next step is to assign the parameters for columns. So you can go for select. So you can click on select menu and beams parallel to Y here, and again go for define parameters. Just I have to change the maximum and minimum values for the column, I mean maximum and minimum reinforcement values. So click on maximum main, and I want to give the maximum main as 32. So just click on assign. Similarly maximum secondary is 16 again, so assign. And similarly minimum main I want to provide 8, sorry, minimum main is 12 for columns, assign. And minimum secondary, that is stirrups, it is 8 mm, assign and close. So for whole design, if you want to get the summary of design, just go for define parameters, and you can go for track option. Okay, so if it is 0, it will be giving only minimum details, that is summary. And if you want to get detailed solutions, I mean detailed design results, you can go for 2. We'll check that again. So let it be 0 and go for assign. Now I want to give the command for design beam. So again select beams parallel to X, and similarly beams parallel to Z. Okay, and just go for commands and click on design beams, assign, and close. So another type of selection is just click on select menu and you can go for inverse selection. So by inverse, and you can go for inverse beam selection and go for command, and you can use design column, assign, and close. So another one, I want to get the takeoff for whole structure, that is like quantity of concrete and the steel. Just go for takeoff, it will be printing the volume of concrete and the weight of the steel reinforcement. So assign and close. So these are the parameters we have assigned for the design. Okay, and next step is to run the analysis. No need of adding the print analysis again. So just go for analyze and run analysis and click on save. So STAAD is running the analysis as well as design here. Yeah, so again 0 errors and 0 warnings. Just go for view output file and done. And you can click on the results here. And we can see the concrete design from the list. Okay, so it is showing different results for different beams here. So you have to know the beam numbers and the column numbers in order to interpret the design results with the required members over there. Okay, so here since we have kept the track 0, we are going to get only summary. Okay, so it will be showing AST, area of steel required, and similarly summary of provided reinforcement. Okay, so we got 25 at top side, and for bottom, yeah, 12 dia bars of 5. Okay, So we got the shear design and as well as like at start and from the end support. So like this we will be getting the design results. Okay, so just I'm going to close this window and I'm going to change the track value. So just double click on the track and I'm going to keep it as 2 here and click on assign and close. Again I'm going to run the analysis and run analysis and save. So the design results, the summary will be changed into somewhat detailed output. View output file and done. For each and every column and beam, we are going to get the detailed design results. So just click on result and go for concrete design. So previously we have shown only summary, right? Here for different at different sections, what is the flexion and maximum sagging and hogging movements we are going to get like this, and shear values, etc. So what is the worst case considered for the design at different sections? Okay, previously this was not shown here. Okay, so at what positions the area of steel has been provided and diameter of the steel provided here, we can see here. Okay, so I'm going for control F to find the columns. So columns, yeah, we can see the columns detailing also, like a column design results here. Okay, so just it will be showing the input and guiding load case, that is 1.5 into dead load plus live load. Loading case 3 is nothing but, so we can see the design results for the columns like this. Okay, so if you are keeping track, we will be getting the detailed design output like this. Okay, so actually just I have shown the procedure for analysis and design in this video. We might be getting some reinforcement that is like less than the minimum reinforcement provided. So here we got 0.670%. So I will show how to adjust that to minimum reinforcement in the next videos. So you can close and you can double click on the beams and you can see the concrete design here. So it will be showing the number of reinforcement provided here. Similarly, you can select one column and you can see the concrete design here. So if you observe, we got this column. Okay, for bottom column we got bar size as 12 and bar numbers is 8. I'm going for the topmost column and you can go for concrete, and here we got the 20 bars. Okay, so actually there is a small mistake in the design, I think. So we see how to adjust the minimum reinforcement and how can we change the other parameters for designed structure. So hope you like this content. If you find this useful, please share with your friends, and if you are new to this channel, please subscribe to Civil Engineering Blooms. Thank you for watching.